Guys, there's a new update to the UK shortage occupation list, which was published on the 27th of February 2023. I'm guessing today is 27th, right? I don't know, lost track of time. Anyway, that is what I'll be talking about in today's video. Hey lovelies, welcome and welcome back to the channel. If you're new, my name is Faith Ojone, and on this channel I talk about ways you can travel abroad and settle abroad. I share resources on how you can get started. I share latest updates concerning the UK and other countries as well. So if this is the kind of content you like to see, hit the subscribe button down below, turn on your notification bell so you'll be notified whenever I share content like this. Without saying so much, let's get started. Shortage occupation list is a list of jobs in the UK where there is shortage of skilled workers, and it makes sense to fill this gap with migrant workers from overseas through a skilled worker visa. Employers do not have to meet the full salary threshold if these jobs are on the shortage occupation list. The government is ultimately the decider of the jobs that should be included in the shortage occupation list. But being on the shortage occupation list means that a lower salary threshold than the normal skilled worker visa that we are used to, reduced visa fees, and ability to do supplementary work as well. And you can apply for settlements. If you, as an immigrant who would love to migrate to the UK and your occupation is on the shortage occupation list, it makes things a lot easier for you, to be honest. Like, your visa fee will not be as expensive as those on a normal skilled worker visa. So just in case your employer is not willing to, cover everything, usually if you're employed from overseas, employers covers for everything concerning your visa, moving. Even some employer go as far as paying your flight tickets. They want you, so they have to be responsible for bringing you over. But just in case employers do not have enough funds to cover all of this, and if their job is on the shortage occupation list, it makes it easier for the employee to take the responsibility of paying for their own visa fee and all of that. Recently, employers in the UK have called on to the UK government to include some roles as part of the shortage occupation list. Now you'll be wondering, why are these employers not just going through the skilled worker route? Now you understand why they're not going through the skilled worker route, because it is a lot cheaper to sponsor someone if their occupation is on the shortage occupation list. So they won't be paying all the crazy amount of money, and it's lower salary thresholds. So employers can decide to pay you 20k and still sponsor you to the UK. But if their occupation is on the normal eligible occupation list, then they must meet the salary threshold of 25,500, which, by the way, the government is planning on increasing that in the spring statement of change. The spring statement of change will be out soon, where the government will give us updates on what they are changing, what they are not changing, what they are working on. So if you're yet to subscribe to this channel, hit the subscribe button, because I share updates with you. So if you're living in the UK, whether you're not planning on coming to the UK, as long as you're living in the UK, you might want to stay updated, because if you're on a visa, staying updated will help your life. So subscribe to the channel now so you get the latest updates when it drops. For the advisory committee to review jobs that should be on the skilled worker shortage occupation list, the review will only consider skilled job at the RFQ level 3 and above, and evidence will be considered for jobs below RFQ 3 that require substantial amount of training, qualification, and face severe unexpected shortage. Jobs that did not meet material benefit from being on the shortage occupation list, or which there is no evidence, will not be considered on jobs to remain on the shortage occupation list indefinitely. So that's to say that not all jobs that goes on the shortage occupation list will be on the shortage occupation list for a very long time. Now, what are the benefits of a job being on a shortage occupation list? So there's a lot of benefits. That is why employers are calling on the government to include their roles as part of the shortage occupation list. So having a job on the shortage occupation list means that the main benefit would be that the job on the shortage occupation list is a lower salary threshold compared to current skilled worker salary threshold, which is around 25,600. And then if it's on shortage occupation, is like 20,480, which is 80% of the going rates for the occupation. Okay, the government is planning to update salary threshold across skilled workers routes as part of the routine spring package, which is the statement of change I mentioned earlier. So the government will be, I think I spoke about this in one of my videos, that the government is planning on reviewing the salary threshold for skilled worker. I think they're increasing it from 25,500, yeah, I just mentioned, to probably 26,000. Immigration rule changes are expected to be out on the 9th of March. So subject to the approval, this will see the general threshold for the skilled worker visa route to be 26,200, and the lower shortage occupation salary will increase to 20,960 pounds. So like I mentioned, the government is going to review the salary threshold for skilled worker and even those jobs on the shortage occupation list. So if you are currently working and your salary threshold is around 20,400, expect an increase to 20,900 when they release the statement of change in spring. This is good news for those on care worker visa, because you're going to be earning more money. It's not significant, but well, because if they increase it more than this, trust me, companies will be struggling to be able to sponsor. So they might want to still keep the salary threshold lower so that employers can still sponsor those from overseas. The good news is that the MAC have called on employers who are asking the government to include their roles as part of the shortage occupation list to, send in their request and explaining why their job should be part of the shortage occupation list, so that by spring, when they will release the spring statement of change, they will be able to address those jobs. Employers will have to provide evidence of why their jobs should be included to the shortage occupation list, providing more information, like for example, are they struggling to fill in the roles? They have to, fill in all those questionnaires and submit to the government. Then this will be reviewed and probably be included to the shortage occupation list by spring. I'm guessing by spring, some jobs will be included to the shortage occupation list, which is good news. But most of the employers who are hammering on government to include their role is mostly those in hospitality. Remember, before Rishi Sunak came into power, Liz Truss was about to include occupations in the hospitality as part of the shortage occupation, giving employers the permission to recruit from overseas and all of that. But when Rishi Sunak came, I think that plan wasn't longer part of the plan. Jobs that are below the RFQ F3, these jobs are not currently eligible for skilled worker visa. Evidence needs to suggest that an occupation or a specific job within occupation requires substantial training, qualification, priority experience, and the job/occupation should be recognized to be RFQ3 to be made eligible for skilled worker visa. Also, the MAC welcome evidence that occupation is facing severe and unexpected shortage. Sectors are finding it impossible to recruit resident workers. Then they will consider this evidence as a request for temporarily including eligibility of skilled worker visa only in exceptional circumstances. The AMC, which is the Migration Advisory Committee, welcome evidence of jobs across all region nations of the UK. So they will be assessing occupations in the UK as a whole, but also assessing occupation in each nation where applicable. So they will also consider the review of shortage occupation lists. So this is like for employers and employees as well. Imagine if your occupation is now part of the shortage occupation list. It makes a whole lot of things easier, meaning you can migrate to the UK a lot quicker. So we already know some jobs are part of the shortage occupation list. By the time they release the spring statement of change, would actually know which occupation they've decided to include as part of this shortage occupation list, which will be out in March. So you know what to do. Subscribe to the channel, because in March, once the information is out, I'll make a video and talk about it. And I'm guessing like March statement of change is going to be something different. I don't know, it's going to be something different. So they've provided questionnaires I'll leave the link down below. This is for basically businesses. So if you're a business person and you think your roles that you have, you think the government should include to the shortage occupation list, you need to fill out the questionnaire and submit. Give them reasons why your job should be included to the shortage occupation list, and by March we'll know if your job gets on the shortage occupation list or not. So this is everything. We have come to the end of this video. I mean, this is good news because now at least the government is considering adding some jobs to the shortage occupation list. You know what to do. Hit the subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.